Hello and welcome to another episode. I am Brian, the Unskilled Commander. Got a fun matchup for you today. Match 2 of Giada Angels, Vreston Insects, Optimus Prime, Artifact Creatures, and Ramos Counters Matter. Just like last time, we're trying something a little different. We're cutting past the first 3 turns where it's just lands and some stuff. Jumping in, I'll catch you guys up real quick. Insects got to go first, and they had Insects and Optimus had a really strong first turns. They both had Soul Rings into Mind Stone for Insects and Swiftfoot Boots for Optimus. Everyone else just played lands, and then these two kind of like sat for a while. Didn't play much else because even with the bit of ramp. All we have over here, we actually played a ramp spell, got some extra lands, Soul Ring and a Mind Stone. Optimus, we have the Steelfoot Boots, the Soul Ring, an Arcane Signet, and we played a Steel Seraph for its 3 mana cost, making it a 3/3 that hits flying, and at the beginning of combat on my turn, target creature you control gains your choice of flying, vigilance, or lifelink until end of turn. We only played another Land of War Visionary over here, drew a card, and now it taps for a green, and already Gianna is looking broken as AF over here because it's only turn 3, but she's out, of course, because she's 2-drop, 2/2, flying vigilance. Each other angel you play comes in with counters on it equal to the number of angels already in play under your control. But I was able to play Urza's Incubator, naming angels, so creatures of that type now cost 2 mana less to cast. So now I can get the angels out even faster for more blasphemous damage, as it were. Or unblasphemous damage, I guess. Holy damage, whatever. And that's where we stand. We're going into turn 4 with the insects taking over. Now, let's join the battle already in progress. Untap, upkeep, draw. We're going to go ahead and tap a plains and a soul ring, and we're going to forsake the worldly, exile target artifact or enchantment. We're exiling Urza's Incubator. That's just too gross for that to have so early on. I'll also tap for a white and play a land tax. It's an enchantment. At the beginning of my upkeep, if an opponent controls more lands than me, I can search for up to 3 basic land cards, reveal them, put them in my hand, and souffle. I have 3 mana left, so I will tap the Mind Stone into the Sungrass Prairie, which then taps for a green and a white with 1 extra green to play Gaia's Anthem. Creatures I control get +1/+1, and I will pass. Some strong turns for insects this early on, but they're still wide open. We're going to untap over here, upkeep, draw for turn, play a Reliquary Tower, then tap white, red, blue, and then to play Optimus Prime, Hero. So 4/8. At the beginning of each end step, bolster 1. Choose a creature with the lowest toughness among creatures you control. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. And if he dies, you return him to the battlefield flipped in his truck mode. I will tap Reliquary Tower for the 1 to equip Swiftfoot Boots, giving it hexproof and haste. So that's pretty strong. Alright, so Optimus now has haste. That's pretty sweet. So we've got a flying 3/3, and we got a hasty 4/8. So at the beginning of combat, I can give it either flying, vigilance, or lifelink. Flying isn't super important right now, so I say we give it lifelink. Then we declare attackers 3 flying at you. Yeah, you got a lot going on, even though you don't have any creatures out. And then Optimus at you. 4/8. You can block it, but your commander will be destroyed. I say at this point in time, you go ahead and take the commander. Still early, and it's only 4, so we'll see what happens. We move to our end step. We're going to bolster 1 onto the Steel Seraph. Pass turn. Good start to Optimus. I like to see that. I'd like to see a lot more in actual games on stream or with my friends, but whatever. Untap, upkeep, draw. Not getting any lands. That's a real... Wow, I do have Land of War Visionary that can tap for mana, so what's the best play? 1, 2, 3, 4. To play Forgotten Ancient. Whenever any player, casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Forgotten Ancient. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may move any number of counters from Forgotten Ancient onto other creatures. Gyarados, I love it. Pass turn. That's the kind of creature that immediately gets countered or blown up before your next turn. We're going to untap, upkeep, draw, play a plains for turn, tap 2 for an Arcane Signet, and tap 2 more for Bishop of Wings. A 1/4 human. When an angel enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life. When an angel you control dies, create a 1/1 spirit with flying. We have the two flying vigilance that we could send. You did attack us, and it's vigilance, so we'll attack you for 2. Aha. We played 2 spells, though, however, so that means you get 2 counters. That's dangerous. And we pass to turn 5. Untap over here. I've got 4 lands, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So no one, unfortunately, because we ramped, we're not going to get benefit out of land tax for a while. Draw for turn. So this is all untaps, by the way. 2 green and Soul Ring for 2 others. To play Bramble Sovereign. It's a Dryad, so it doesn't get the bonus from Path of Ancestry. When the mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander scry 1. So it's an alien insect scout, so it doesn't share any of that stuff. But whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2. If you do, that creature's controller creates a token copy of that creature. Pretty cool. So it is now at 5/5 thanks to Gaia's Anthem, but there's not really much else we can do. We're going to pass. And I did it again. Forgot all about the bolstering. 1, 2, 3. 3 more, so up to 4. So it is now a 7/7. Still doesn't bolster Optimus yet, which is fine. Draw a card for turn. That's awesome. We're going to tap 1, 2, and 3. Actually, we'll tap Reliquary Tower, 4, Foundry Inspector. Artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. I will then tap for a blue, a white, and 1 other to cast one of the few humans in the deck, Hana, Ship's Navigator. A 1/2. You can pay 1 white, blue, tap it to return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Now they're going to start gaining a ton of life if they start playing angels, and their angel. Oh, well, this right here already. Well, we played a bunch of stuff, didn't we? Well, we just played 1 thing, so that's a 3, and then over here we played 2 more. Well, unfortunately, this is now a 5/8. So we're going to move to combat. I'm going to give Optimus Prime flying. Wait, didn't I give him lifelink last turn? I think I did. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just forgot to add it, and then she hit back for 2. Now I'm going to give him flying, and we're going to send both of these at you. So that's 4, 9. Actually, if that's the case, then I forgot. Yeah, so no, that's a bit much. We're going to keep focusing. So Optimus will, in fact, go at you. Once again, they do have an angel. Actually, they have 2 angels. They're going to want to play 3 angels in their hand now that I see it. So yeah, they're going to want to keep the commander. So we will take 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 8 commander from Optimus. That's getting a bit dicey. Well, I mean, it's almost halfway. We would then move to our end step. We can choose between these 2. We will put it onto Hana. Nah, we'll put it on Foundry Spectre. He's more important. And then pass turn. Let's see if we can remember now. Untap, upkeep, draw. Wow, we're just not getting any lands. That sucks. I will tap 4 to play Lux Artillery. Whenever you cast an artifact's creature spell, it gains Sunburst. And at the beginning of your end step, if there are 30 or more counters among artifacts and creatures you control, Lux Auxiliary deals 10 damage to each opponent. That's pretty sweet. In a counters matter deck, probably be okay in Optimus, but I think it's better suited over here because there's more things that say do counters, move counters, whatever. Optimus is, like we've seen, it's amazing that he does it on every end step, but it's slow. It's still slow. It's still only 4 counters per turn, or per round, really. I cast a spell, however, so this does in fact go up. We can move those counters somewhere if we want. Since Forgotten Agent is such a big target, I think at the beginning of combat, we're going to move those 6 counters over to you, just to kind of spread them out and have them be safe. He's still a 0/3, and we'll see what happens. We pass turn, untap, upkeep, draw. Going to tap 3 and play Angel of Vitality, a flying 2/2. If you would gain life, you gain that much life plus 1 instead, and Angel of Vitality gets +2/+2 as long as you have 25 or more life. So she's a flying 4/4 right now. However, when she comes in, she's going to get a counter thanks to Giada, so she is technically a 5/5, and whenever an angel enters the battlefield, we do gain 4 life. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 5 life, but Angel of Vitality doesn't see itself until it's in. So it doesn't work like that. 2 mana left. Nothing, unfortunately, we can do with 2 mana, or even the 3 off of Giada for angels. We can attack again. You are now do not have flyers again. We will swing 2 at you. Little commander war going on over here, back and forth, and then we'll pass. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Cool, forest. So let's go ahead and tap 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to cast Vestrin, Menopatra Leader for 5. Which means we make 5/1/1 insects with flying, actually, which is pretty awesome. Well, that's cool. Just swipe across the flying. But yes, 5 of them. And he says, whenever you attack with 1 or more insects, put a +1/+1 counter on all of them. Oops, I think I did miss this. So we are now on turn 6. I hope. That's the problem with that. I do get caught up in the going around and I forget to mark off the turns. I need like a little clicker or something I can just like hit as I go, and it'll be easier to get into that as a habit of just like bounce, click as I pass it, as opposed to like stopping, getting the marker, writing it down, but whatever. Now, I could have tried to save 2 mana, making less insects, but I could have made a copy. However, the copy would have been legendary, so it would have destroyed anyway, so we're fine. Nobody had more lands than me, so that didn't trigger. Currently, our insects are 2/2 flyers. That's pretty sweet. And then if we swing with them, they would then become 3/3 flyers, so that's not bad. So you can see the potential within Vestrin, just getting him up and running faster. And that was why I had, in the first game, a bunch of little 1/1 insects that just popped out really easy that were 1 or 2 mana, because the idea is to have 5 of them out, along with Vestrin and some insects that I made with Vestrin, and swing 8 of them, and they all become 2/2s or whatever. And then have some static buffs like Gaia's Anthem, etc. I don't think there's anything else we can really do. We're going to go ahead and pass turn. And we missed it again. Every dang time. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Now we untap, upkeep, draw over here. That's pretty cool. 1, 2, and a blue to play Master of Ethereum. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of artifacts you control, and other artifact creatures get +1/+1. He is not an artifact. He is an artifact creature. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, it is a 7/7. Now we do have to be careful about swinging Optimus at this point because that is currently a 5/5, 6/7. If we swung on the ground, they could stack block all 3 creatures and kill Optimus. If we swing in the air, they cannot. So that means we probably want to give him flying once more. However, since they have a 5/5, they could block, neither creature would die, and it really wouldn't be much of a point. Oh, nope, hang on, sorry, artifact creatures are getting that buff, so he's actually a 5/9. So, okay, that's good, then he could kill her. We have 4 mana left, nothing we can do with it, regrettably. But I like this, you're finally seeing what Optimus is supposed to do. Have a bunch of creatures out, bolstering them along the way, making them better. Because now suddenly we have a 5/4 and a 3/4 instead of little 3/2 and a 1/2. So we're going to move to combat. I'm going to give Optimus flying and then swing these 2 out. So we're going to once more up. Darn it. Okay, what did we cast? Cast that. See, the problem with decks like these with all these counters and triggers and stuff, this is going to be tricky for me to not drastically screw up. Now what I'm hoping for is I need, and it doesn't matter because I don't have, Ramos is kind of out of the game at this point because I'm way behind on land. I literally only have 3 lands. 4 mana thanks to the Visionary, but that's it. I need 6 just to cast him. The idea was, when I got Forgotten Ancient so early, I was like, sweet, I can just keep dumping the counters from Forgotten Ancient onto Ramos, making him huge flyer. That's not going to happen. Angels is still a threat, but this is actually this is a 10-something, a 10/9. I say we forget about him for right now and swing both of these creatures at Angels because they're clearly the next threat after Optimus. It's going to be 10 damage to you. Well, sorry, a 10/9 and a 5/9, both flying. Man, it sucks because there's good creatures in the hand, but I don't have a lot of mana to cast more than one of them. But I want to gain the life and make, but so every time you cast an angel, you get 4 life, and if you keep that angel out, you gain 5 life. You're going to get smacked for a hell of a lot more than that. So I guess we have to block the Steel Seraph, Angel of Vitality, and then be risky and take 5 more damage from Optimus, putting us at 13 commander. We then cannot do anything else. We move to our end step. This goes up, and then we pass. Untap, upkeep, draw, land. Well, it is a land at least, so we got that. Not the right colors to play anything. We'll tap everything, to play Loyal Guardian. Play a creature, so that goes up. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, if you control your commander, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. Huge, but no good right now. It does have trample, though, so at the beginning of combat, I will move these 4 counters onto Loyal Guardian, so at least it's an 8/8 with trample. So unfortunately, the Lux Auxiliary doesn't matter because it's only artifact creature spells. It's really mainly in there for the fact that if you have 30 or more counters across everything, like right now we already have 10. If we had gotten Dragon Engine out, we probably would have had more. So it's not unrealistic to get 30 counters, hopefully, in this deck to start blasting over 10 damage. So that's all we can do. We're going to go ahead and pass. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. All right, we're going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Herald of War. When an angel enters the battlefield under your control, gain 4 life. 1, 2, 3, 4. When an angel enters the battlefield, it gets a counter for each other angel. It's 1. Boom. Flying 3/3. When Herald of War attacks, put a counter on it. Angel spells and human spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each counter on it. So as of right now, angel spells cost 1 less to cast. Awesome. You still don't have flyers, so we'll absolutely hit you for 2 because you're doing quite well this time around, Optimus. So we got to do what we can. We played a spell, so this gets a counter, and we will pass to turn 7, I hope. I don't know. We might be a turn behind. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. I will tap a forest to play Lay of the Land. Search for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand. I'll go get a forest, goes to my hand, I'll play the forest for turn, and then shuffle. So it kind of just replaced itself. It always seems to be the case that whenever I get land text out, I'm always like the first player, and no one ever has more lands than me. Even though I am facing another green deck, or a deck that has green, they're not ramping very well, and I'm ramping more than anybody else. But if you didn't put it in here, I put it in here because white, I guess I could take it out, honestly, because it's a green deck, so there should be enough ramp. I don't really need land tax, and I probably should take that out for just a better card. See right there, that's something we learned off of playing this game. I'm going to move to combat, and I'm going to start the swing. Oh, I almost forgot. Not that I really forgot, but he's a 5/5 because I did the thing. I did cast a spell, so that means this went up, and I'm going to cast another one. So I didn't move the combat yet. Sorry, it's a sorcery. So the question is, before I do this, I want to figure out where I'm going. See, the smart move, I guess, is to go after Optimus, but I don't know. I mean, he's only 1 life higher than us, but that's a lot of stuff over there. And, okay, I did forget. This went up on their end step, and this went up on their end step, right? So this is a 8, 9, 8, and that's a 7, 7. So we still got, and technically they're getting pluses, but we'll just worry about that later for combat purposes. So at this end step, that'll go up. They'll both still be 6, 6s. So we'll still need 2 more end steps before we get even to that. Okay, so I'm going to tap for 5 and play Engineering Might. Choose 1. I'm going to choose creatures I control, get +2/+2, and gain vigilance until end of turn. Heck yeah. So we're going to be moving to combat, and a bunch of stuff's going to happen. So when you attack with 1 or more insects, put a +1/+1 counter on each of them. So we'll just say that goes up because they were counters anyway. And now this gets a counter as well. So these are 5 2/2s. However, they're getting the buff from here, which makes them 3. Boom, boom. That means they're 5. So they are 5 5/5s flying. That's 20 damage. He is a 6 7 8 9. He's a 9 9 commander flying. So that's almost 30 full damage. We could almost kill that outright. We can do a big chunk off of Optimus. Now, unfortunately, nobody has trample. And we've got the 4 4. 5, 6. Yeah, they can't stack block and take out our leader over here. Because I'm tempted to swing something somewhere else. Like, I'm tempted to swing Reston somewhere else. So these 5 are coming at you. Period. That's 20 damage. You're taking 20 damage. Down to 18. Huge hit. And we've got 6, 7, 8, 9 coming somewhere else. I think we're going to send the 9 at you because I did just play that spell and that gets even bigger and you got a trample guy. Oh, and I forgot. They all have vigilance, which is even better. So now we have a lot of great blockers. It's awesome. But that's all we can do. We're going to go ahead and pass turn. Optimus is probably like, what the heck, man? But come on, he was kind of the threat. Or was he, I guess? I don't know. A lot of counters going around over here, but not a lot of things swinging and happening. It was really focusing on them. So untap, upkeep, draw. Sorry, this got that counter on his end step. So we're going to, boom, play a mountain. Reston is actually becoming somewhat of a threat with 5 creatures out that are going to continue to get higher every time they attack, and we don't have that many flyers to counteract them. Well, yes, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, tapping Karn's Bastion to proliferate. Everybody gets another counter. Now we got to start looking at Optimus here because Optimus is a 4/8 with the buff. He's a 5/9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 8, 8. Like there are better creatures to get Steel Seraph's ability off of than Optimus at this point. Although granted, it is commander damage, but they're going to have to start blocking. I mean, they can still take 1 more 5 and be at 18. It's crackback type stuff, so it's iffy. And the fact that that gave them vigilance, that's huge. So we can't even try and swing through because nothing has trample on this side, and they have a lot of flying, so they can block. It's going to be very, very interesting. I think they have attracted everyone's attention. We've got an 8/8 with trample. That's big. The Forgotten Agent can make it bigger. I didn't play anything. I just activated the ability, so that didn't go up anymore. And Angels can get iffy over there because once it starts attacking, it's going to start buffing things, or buffing itself rather. If I try and swing over there, they can stack block and destroy stuff. We don't want that right now. We want to keep this impressive board state for just a little bit longer. Although they can crack back with 15, we would only have 1 flyer at the time to block. So if they swung with everything, we would take 15 minimum. We might actually lose, right? Because if they attack again, they would become 3 3s plus the buff is 4 4s. That's still 20 again. We block one of them with the Steel Seraph. 16 gets through, but if they swung everything at us, they could win. Or they could destroy to Optimus, not win. Yeah, regrettably, I don't think we really want to swing out, at least not with the Steel Seraph. So we're going to move to combat. We're going to give the Master of Ethereum flying. It is an 8/8. And we're going to send it at Angels, because they are really high life total as well. If they stack blocked, they could not destroy it. It's not commander damage, so I think they might just take the 8. We'll see. I don't know. What would you do? Would you take the 8? Would you block with the Herald of War? Would you even block with Giada? Because, I mean, you could recast her, but that's all you could do next turn, and it really wouldn't get you much value. We're going to move to our end step. This will go up. Pass turn over here. Untap, upkeep, draw. Land. It is a land. We will tap, or play a swamp. Tap X to cast Ramos Dragon Engine. This goes up, and we finally have a flyer. And we're going to move to combat and move all of these onto Ramos because now we have an 8/8 flyer, which we definitely need. And we have an 8/8 trample. Unfortunately, at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Haha! And so this is the beginning of... Oh, whoops. Sorry. I was doing that wrong. This is at the beginning of your upkeep. You may move counters. It's okay for most purposes, but we're going to put a counter there, there, and then Ramos only gets 1. So I will put this here in mind. That says upkeep trigger, not a combat trigger. This is an artifact creature, and it gains Sunburst, so it gets +1/+1 for each color used to cast it, actually, which was 1, 2, 3, 4. Think that's okay? I mean, I think Sunburst just says 1 counter for each color used to cast it. It doesn't say color in its mana symbol, so I think that counts. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. This is not something that comes up very often in any of the games I play, so I'm not entirely sure. Alright, so we've got a 9/9 with Trample. That's fantastic. It really won't get through many places, though, and we don't really want to have it destroyed, so unfortunately we're going to have to just pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. So we're going to tap 1, 2, 3, because it costs 1 less, and we're going to play Archangel of Tithes. It's a flying 3/5. As long as it is untapped, creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures, and as long as it is attacking, creatures can't block unless their controller pays 1. As it enters, we've got 2 angels. It's going to get 2 counters, and then we're going to gain 4 life. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 2 mana left over. I'm going to tap those 2 mana to play Ever-Flowing Chalice. 1. It's kicked 1 time, so it just taps for 1 mana. Alright, whenever Herald of War attacks, put a counter on it. Unfortunately, at this point, I can't even swing Herald in to try and get more counters to make Angels cost less, because everyone can block and destroy it, because he's only a 4/4. They could block it, that could block it, that could block it. Now, I don't think we're going to remember it, but Archangel of Tithes is really important, so they can't attack me unless they pay for it. Kind of like a propaganda or a ghostly prison or something along those lines. And unfortunately, I guess we're going to have to go ahead and not attack again and pass. But that's okay. Insects are going to do all the attacking. Untap, upkeep, draw. Oh, that's a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4 to play Concerted Effort. Enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, all creatures I control gain flying until end of turn. If a creature I control has flying, they gain. Same is true for Fear, First Strike, Double Strike, Landwalk, Protection, Trample, and Vigilance. Regrettably, I don't have anything except for flying, but that means, hey, Bramble Sovereign now has flying in case it wants it. I think I will go ahead and tap 1 and sacrifice Mind Stone to draw a card. That's better. We'll tap 1, 2, 3, and play Llanowar Green Widow. It's a 4/3 Reach Trample. Hey, we now have Trample. Unfortunately, Reach isn't on the list, but that's fine. So now, at the beginning of each combat, all of my creatures are going to gain flying and trample. It's a 4/3, and it has Domain. I can return it from the graveyard, blah, blah, blah. Not something I think I'll ever bother doing. That is a non-token creature, but regrettably I don't have the open mana to pay for it to copy it. That's the problem with Bramble Sovereign. Situations like this, you just never get to the point where you can pay that. At least I can't. I always end up using all my mana to do other things, and then when I finally play a creature, it's all spent. Where do we want to go? The trample is a big deal now. That's a very big deal. Now, the spider is a spider. It's not an insect, so it won't get the buff from Breston. It's one of the few spiders I have in here, but as you can see, it helped out in this situation. So where do we want to send things, really? Everyone is kind of getting, Optimus has been stalled out a little bit, but he's still very, very scary with all those big power and toughnesses. I don't have anything that can give them anything special like flying and trample like I should. I'll have to reevaluate that as well, now that I think about it. I know some cards I can put in that deck. The problem is they're not artifact creatures, and I really want to keep it a robotic deck, except either robots or humans to go in line with the Transformers cartoon. Mostly robots, but a few humans helping them out. That it's on par, it's on flavor, I like it. But there's a bunch of weird creatures that say when a modified creature, or if you have a modified creature, which means a +1/+1 counter and some other stuff, it gains trample, or modified creatures you control all have flying. So that would really be helpful, but they don't match up to what the deck theme is, so we'll see. I might bend the rules to get a couple of them in there. We'll see. I'll have to look them up. They're basically in my Me the Immortal deck, so. As for Ramos over there, finally has Ramos out and could actually use the ability if I wanted to. And I can dump a bunch of counters on the trample or flyer. That's getting scary. We've got some angels out. The angels have protection, although that's true. I cannot attack angels at all because I don't have any mana. Unfortunately, I don't know. What do you think is the biggest threat right now? And also 2 end steps. This goes up to 6, so that's... But they are getting the buff, so technically they're 9s. So that went up, and then this goes up. So on this end step, we can probably finally put a counter on Optimus. If he's still alive, we'll see. Let's go ahead and swing the lead and how to swing it. Yeah, I guess we'll swing everything. I don't know. It's so hard to decide, but I guess at this point you gotta take a person out. By trying to be fair and let's get them both down. They're both kind of... No, it's just go. So when they go to attack, they will get counters. Only insects, though, so this doesn't get a counter. but it does get flying and trample thanks to that. So these are 5 4/4s. They are 20 damage coming at you. This is 7, 8. This is 8 commander coming at you. You have a 5, 10, 10, 9, actually a 11, 9. So maybe you do not send the commander at you. When you attack with one or more insects. Okay, he doesn't have to be attacking. Good. So we're just sending them at you. Okay. You have one flyer that can absolutely kill one. So that goes down to 4. 4 times 4, 16. So you can take 16 damage. Gross, but okay. Nothing end step wise. The trample wouldn't have mattered. So we go ahead and. Oh, we still also had this, huh? Shoot. This is a 5/5. So I guess we would have actually blocked this thing. Well, that's that then. It doesn't matter. Optimus is dead because we would have taken 20 damage because you were sending 25 at us. We could only block one thing. Only one thing has flying. Yep, boom, there you go. Darn it, kaboosh. But Optimus did very, very well. I'm okay with that. Oops, I think this is turn 8. Shoot. It's probably turn 9 at this point. Or 10, who knows. But that's all we can do. We're going to pass. And hey, I'm happy that Insects is doing so well finally. It's nice that it shows off a bit. Alright, so over here, untap, we have an upkeep trigger. We can move these if we want. But shields are down over there. So I think we're going to move these to you, my tramply friend. Then we're going to draw a card for turn. Shoot, did we play it? I'm sure we have, but what did we play? I played at least one spell. I didn't think I played that, so actually this is probably 12 counters. It's up to 12 counters, which makes it a 16/16 with trample. Awesome. 5, 6 to play Conclave Sledge Captain, a 4/4, but it has backup, 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 and then it's got trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. So backup means when this creature enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. If it's a different creature, it gains the following ability. Oh, so they also have to. So we cast a spell, this is going to get a counter. We cast a green spell, so this is going to get a counter. Then we get to back up 3 times. So we're going to put a counter you, and I guess, because we will be able to move them later. But I'm certainly not going to attack with a 2/3. However, these 2 bad boys now have trample, and when they deal combat damage to a player, put that many counters on them. So we've got a 17/17 with trample and a 11/11 with trample. What do you have up to block? You've got a total of 7, 12. You've got 12. However, see, there's the problem. It's not enough to kill you. So you could even take, because it would be a total of 28 damage. You could even theoretically leave it, not block with Vreston. As cool as that is, man, it looks like Insects might actually take it. This is crazy. I'm impressed. I like that. I did not think Insects would be able to hang with these decks. And in either case, it's a maximum of 28 damage. It cannot take out either opponent. But we're going to go after the threat. So I will, in fact, swing both of them at you. They both have trample. This one's flying. I'll throw Lenamore Reach in front of Ramos, but you're still going to take a bunch of commander damage. So that's what? 3. So 3 off of the 7, or so 8. You're going to take 8 commander damage. Then you're not blocking this, so you're going to take 17, down to 12. Now here's the crazy part. This is going to get another 12 counters. So this is up to 25. So it's literally a 29/29 with trample. That's awesome. Oh, wait. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Forgot. That's sick. So that means 2 more damage got through. Okay, down to 10. You had 8 damage go through, so this is up to 16 counters. So I could take 5 off to cast a whole bunch of crap. Well, okay, so I will do that. At second main phase, I will take 5 counters off, down to 11. Unfortunately, it can only be activated once per turn, which I get. I will then use 5 of it to whites to play Sunscorcher Regent. This is going to go up. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Sunscorcher Regent, and I gain a life. And then I will use the other 5 to greens to play Mycocloth. It's a 4/4, and this goes up, and a white and a green. So it's at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 green sapperling creature token for each +1/+1 counter on Mycocloth. It has Devour 2. As it enters, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. It gets +1/+1 counters, 2 of them, for each creature sacrificed that way. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and sacrifice Land of War Visionary. I know it's got a huge thing, but whatever. Because now that at the beginning of my upkeep, I can make a 1/1 little guy. I don't think we're survive, but whatever. But hey, we've got a flyer. It's at least 1 flyer to block with. We're going to go ahead and pass. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. I don't know. I guess we'll try. go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and play Boon Reflection. Enchantment, if I would gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. They have a flyer that's pretty big. They have a flyer that's a 4-3, pretty big. We have a 5-7, and a 4-4, but we don't want to tap Angel of Ties right now because, even though I forgot. Oh, did they attack? Shoot. I don't know if I attacked. I think I attacked Angels with somebody and they probably couldn't have paid for it. Thankfully, it's only 1 mana for each attacking creature, so we'll just... I think I may have screwed up a little bit, but I don't think it... I think it was Optimus and he's gone anyway. They swung both of those over there, so we're probably okay for right now. That's all we can do. We played that. We did play a spell. Whenever cast a spell, that gets a counter, and this gets a counter. Whenever a player. This is a player, this is opponent. So pass turn, untap, upkeep, draw for turn. 1, 2. Well, first of all, 3 green, and then 1, 2. To play... Nope, hang on. We actually want to get some Path of Ancestry activations in here. Vorapede. Vigilance and Trample. Sweet. So now they're going to have Vigilance and Trample and Flying thanks to Concerted Effort. That's really, really beneficial. That was a top deck. That's awesome. It's Undying. Whenever this creature dies, if it had no counters on it, put counters on it, and it's a 5-4. Now, if we attack with it, it will get a counter, so that will negate the Undying, but whatever. Oh, I think we're on. So the cool thing is, now they have Vigilance. That's really... And Trample's good too, but now where do we go? That's the problem. We still have 5. They are 3 3s right now. We attack again, that'll be 4 4s, and that's a 5. So they're going to be 5 5/5s. That's 25 damage. And we have our commander. Now you have a 5-4. Nope, sorry, because we just played that. 6. You have a 6-5. This is a 7-8-9. It's good. Okay, so... And they have Trample. I think that's the way to go. We're going to go to combat. Beginning of combat. That's each up player. Wait, the beginning of each player's upkeep. All creatures you control. Okay, so whatever. They have it. Move to combat. Swing all of them at you. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, man. If I swing out, Angels wins. So obviously don't swing out, of course, but... That's getting real gross. That's going... Look at it. We gotta take... If we don't take that out... See, once again, damn it, king making. I hate that. If we don't take them out, they win. If we do take them out, Giada wins. And we pretty much have to attack with everything. If we leave 1 5/5 flyer up, but then if we don't attack with it, it won't get the buff. So that's what we gotta try, right? We're swinging all of this at you. You only have the 1 flyer. We go to attacks, these get buffed. This is now a 9/9 with trample. That is a 6-something, 6/5. It's the only thing you can do. So you can block one of these, take it out. This would also... Wait, yeah, so this would also die. And now you've got 8, 3, 4, 5, so 15, and 8 is 22. No, 23, sorry. Kaboosh. They are the unalived. Impressive insects. Oh, what am I thinking? They're vigilant. It doesn't matter. How stupid. That's fine. So then we pass turn. Angels untaps. Upkeep. Play a plains. That's decent. Kind of need that. We're going to tap. Angels are 1 less, so 1, 2, 3. Play Angelic Field Marshal. As long as you control your commander, Angelic Field Marshal gets +2/+2, and creatures you control have vigilance. So 1, 2, 3. This is going to come in with 3 counters. An angel entered the battlefield, we're going to gain 4 life, but because of Boon Reflection, we're going to gain 8 life. Now we got to remember, if we want to attack, we have to pay for that over here. So that's going to be the big thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure, at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4 to play Court of Grace. When it enters, I become the Monarch. Hey, I'm the Monarch. Another cool Proxy Forge token. At the beginning of my upkeep, create a 1/1 Spirit creature token with flying. If I'm the Monarch, I make a 4/4 Angel instead. Now, what to do? I don't know. I think now that I realize that they have Vigilance, I think Insects has it because they're going to get Trample again. 39 versus 10, maybe not. And we can't play anything because we got to tap all the mana to swing in. So what could we swing with next turn, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We could swing 15 damage. They could block a bunch, blow them up, but that's what's giving the vigilance, and I don't even know if we want to keep... I don't know if we want to swing that. Angel they play is just going to get bigger, and that's where they're going to be able to win, by just a war of attrition, just waiting and getting bigger angels. So we got to press the offensive, but I don't know how well that's going to work. So what are they current? So we're down quite a bit damage. We've got some 5/5s. And again, we don't want to attack with ties because that gets rid of our 1 saving grace, pillow fort thing. So we don't really want to attack with anything right now. Move to our end step, nothing happens, pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw, come on. Yes, that's good. 1, 2 for Brood Hatch Nantaku. So 1/1, whenever Brood Hatch Nantaku is dealt damage, you may create that many green insect creature tokens. So if it gets blocked by a 6/6, I make 6 creature tokens, like 1/1. So that's the way we get a little, but it has to be next turn, whatever. Now the problem is, if I swing with the commander, they can absolutely stack block and kill it, and that's part of the key. But if we swing with the little insects, they can blow up some of them. But can they really? Angelic Field Marshal is the only one that can kill one, but it can still kill one. All right, so we're going to move to combat. We got to keep the pressure. Vigilance. So we're swinging all of these. So they go up, and they get the buff. So yeah, these are 3 6/6s and a 5/5. I'll block the 5/5 with, well, wait a second, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it actually gets 2 more, so 7, 8. So I'll block one of these 6s. Boom, that's down. This is a 3, 4, 5, a 5, 6, so I will block the 5/5 with it. Boom, not great. They survive. I have to, pay 2 for attacking. Did that. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's okay, we have the mana for it. That's why I left it up, but yeah. So we pay for attacking. They display blocked, so that means 2 6/6s get through for 12 damage. Yeah, I think Angels is still going to get it because they have that boon reflection out. However, we are the Monarch now. We did get damage through. So at our end step, we can draw a card, pass turn, untap, upkeep. We're not the Monarch. There's no other untap there. Yeah, so draw. Okay, well, that's bad. But can we play it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ha! We up, but they cost 1 less. Want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cost less. Somewhere. 8. For Avacyn, Angel of Hope. Flying, Vigilance, Indestructible. Other permanents you control have Indestructible. And they all have Vigilance, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and put a bunch of counters on her. She's getting 4 counters on her. We're going to gain 8 life because of the bishop. And then we're going to go swinging. I think we win. What have we got? 20 damage coming at you, because we're going to swing the whole board because they all have Vigilance and they have Indestructible, so it doesn't matter. So we can block however we want. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, no, I don't even want to. So I'll block this bishop with the Vorpede because he's on the ground. Although actually they all do have flying because of that. But we'll block the 2 biggest with these guys. Unfortunately, they both die. We'll block Giada with our commander. Nothing happens. And 3, 4 damage gets through. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you do become the Monarch, so you draw a card. Then on your upkeep, you'd make another Angel. So pass turn, untap, upkeep, draw for turn. It's a Plains, we play it. We got nothing. I think we just concede. There's not even a point in trying. I mean, we could swing with this, but they would probably just block with Giada at best, so we make 2 insects. Oh, that's true. Hang on. I guess I forgot that he did get, even though he was Summoning Sickness, he got flying at the beginning of each player's upkeep. So I could have actually blocked Angelic Field Marshal with the Brood Hatch instead of one of the insects, which then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would make 7 1/1s. I mean, okay. Everything else happens as then we pass over to here. Oh, I think I drew a land. I can pay, well, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can 7, 8, 9. I could attack with almost everything. However, they would get trample and all that, and vigilance, but these are just going to be 1, 2, 3s. There's going to be 7 3/3s, which is 21 damage. This was whatever it was, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 or so. So about 36 damage would be sent over. They got more than enough to block. 4 things would get through and take them down a semi-decent amount. We would get the Monarch back, etc. But none of their creatures would be destroyed because some of our creatures would. So here's the thing. I'm just going to call it and say Angels wins. It's actually very iffy, but it would have to be a lot of math back and forth and being extremely specific in what's blocking what, and it would probably take another 2-3 turns to whittle it down just right, because they would have to block the insects enough to get rid of them. It would take at least 3 more turns. Swing everything over here, they block 5 of these, destroying them. They take a decent amount of damage, 15 to 20 damage. They play an Angel next turn. They go back up by 8. They swing. You have to block, so you lose a bunch more of your insects. You can't crack back, and then they kill you on that turn. So that's what we're going to say. And there you go. Angels, probably turn a lot later than it should have been. Turn, 12, 13 maybe. Angels wins. And Angels, you saw how powerful it was. It probably, these other decks just hit just right, and it slowed down a little bit. And you're going to have people blowing things up, and board wipes would probably have happened by now. So who knows? This actually is maybe that's about the right time turn for it. But I'm very pleased with insects stepping up this time around versus turn 1, or versus game 1. So what do you think? I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please subscribe, stick around, throw some likes around, all that kind of jazz. And I will see you next time.